Shambho, Mahadev, Mahadev, Mahadev. Om Shaaanthi. So Bhagavan said, Maharishi Vaishambhayana, who is a Shishya of Maharishi Vaishambhayana, who is the Shishya of Vedavyasa, who again comes from the assist Brahman, Brahmaputras, Vasishta. Then comes the Vyasa, Bradharinya, Vyasa, Veda Vyasa, then the Vaishambhayana, then Yajnavalkya. It goes like that. This is the Shishya Parampara. So the Badrayana Krishna, Vedavyasa is also known as form of Krishna. It is the Chaturanga, or it is the force are controlling the whole universe. So, the four, according to when you look at the Vedic science, Maharishi Vedavyasa, who has written Mahabharata, many other Puranas, Vedics, Paryayas, Vedangas, Vedantas, Upanishads. He has more than 5,000 characters in Mahabharata. Mahabharata alone 5,000. The Upagranthas are there. From the Mahabharata, there are, by binaries are there. They have again more characters. But 5,000 characters individually, each one has a different character, could be memorized and could be written. Yes. At last he came and got stuck at one point where Krishna comes. So there were four people who had to be given the same name: Krishna, Arjuna, Krishna Vedavyasa, Krishna Badrayana Vedavyasa. Himself is Krishna. And the Supreme Brahman. These names could not be. Arjuna is also Arjuna means it is meaning is Krishna only. Arjuna is Krishna only. Krishna is Krishna. Krishna. got stuck only there, only 4 names. Who could design 5,000 characters? But cannot be bifurcated. Is why in Mahabharata the control is done by these 4. The whole Mahabharata. Is why the game is also known as Chaturanga. Chaturanga. Chaturanga is also 4 divisions of army. Chaturanga. One is cavalry, one is horse at the horseback, and one is at the elephant back, and another in chariot. These are the 4 divisions of Chaturanga. The game of Chaturanga which is being explained is only, even though it is a game, it is not gambling alone. He has explained about the control of the movement of the 4 sainyas in order to keep the life going, in order to attain what is the ultimate? Reaching at one point, the Chaturanga. The middle has to come there. Once that is there, when all are defeated, then only one is the winner. The king is the winner. The one who is supreme is the winner. This way it is known as Chaturanga. When this Chaturanga, that is why it is known as Dharma Yuddha. So even Chaturanga should be based on the Dharma Yuddha. In our life also, everything should be Dharma Yuddha. In the Yuddha, in the archery, one should always know not only to aim an arrow, but also one should know how to do the prayoga samharam. That means how to withdraw that. In case it is a mistake, how to withdraw it is called prayoga samharam. The one who doesn't know the prayoga samharam is not complete in his archery, which is a great secret of life. One has to learn in the Brahmajnanam. Everything is Brahmajnanam. Fighting a war is also Brahmajnanam. Shooting an arrow is Brahmajnanam. Because when you shoot an arrow, you should know how to withdraw it. Brahmastra, when it is used, even many people, Arjuna or Bhishma or anybody, they could withdraw it. Only person who did not do it for the purpose of destruction, others might have done it emotionally, but when he realized no, it is no more necessary, he did know the prayoga samharam and withdrew the Brahmastra. The only one who did use it, and even though knowingly he did not withdraw it, is only one person. He is Dronacharya's son. What's his name? Ashwatthama. It was known to him, but Ashwatthama intentionally did not do it. So what happened? Even though knowing the Prayogasam, that's why Prayogasam Sahamara, knowingly, because father has taught him all. But he didn't do it. He left it for the destruction. Is why he could not get the mukti. So, if one doesn't do the prayoga samhara, one doesn't attain the mukti. Why should I tell you all these things? We are not in a Mahabharata Yuddha, nor none of us know about how to use a Brahmastra, is what you are thinking. Bhagavan Vedavyasa said, vangvai Brahmaha. In Veda, Rigveda as well as Yajurveda explains about vangvai Brahmaha. In Brahma Sutra, he has concised all the gists of Vedas, all the important points of Vedas, how to attain the Brahma Jnanam is why it is known as Brahma Sutra. In that, specifically he mentions about the vangvai Brahmaha. In the sense, vaani, vakya is a Brahman. Here in Kali Yuga, in a normal human being's life, the Brahmastra is vaani, vak. Vangvai Brahma. Brahmastra has been made and it is meant to use. Is why Brahmastra is there. Otherwise, why Brahma should create Brahmastra? Brahmastra should be used, no doubt. But where Brahmastra should be used should be known by the person who is using the Brahmastra. Is why there is a qualification, there is an eligibility class for the persons who can possess Brahmastra. Anybody and everybody cannot. If by mistake or by chance, by doing tapasya and attained Brahmastra from Brahma, even though he may gift it, he may bless it and give to the person who had been doing tapasya, but that blessing, because he is asking it for a personal swartha bhava. But having done the tapasya, Brahma is committed to give the vara what is supposed to be given. Because there is a process. One who does the tapasya attains what is necessary. But doesn't mean whatever you ask for, you will get it, no doubt. This is why in our life also I have always explained this. In meditation or any other things, whatever you ask for, whatever you intend for, whatever you focus for, you will get. But if you focus and if you get it, you are responsible for it. When you are responsible for it, Brahmastra will destroy you. That is what has happened to Ashwatthama. Because you do not know the value of the Brahmastra. When you express your difficulties, Brahma should analyze that you will require Brahmastra at one point. Then if he gives you, that will be a blessing. The other thing will be a cause for your own death. Same way, in us, when we ask for something, if we do not know, that will be a cause of our own destruction. Vangvai Brahmaha. Vaani is a Brahman. Vak is a Brahman. So, like Brahmastra, see, I am not going for those tapasvis and jnanis, is applicable to all jivatmas, all pranas, all jivas. When the Vani is used, you should know the Prayoga Samharam. Before it is hitting the target, you should know how to withdraw it. Then only you use a word, a vak. But if you do not know, either you should not use it, or if you use it, it becomes the cause of your own destruction. Is why very beautifully Bhagavan said that vangvai Brahmaha. Vaani is Brahman. Everything is Brahman. If Panchendriyas are Brahman, if Panchabhutas are Brahman, and if the Sharira has been created based on the Brahma Tattvas, that which is inherent in the Tattvas is Brahma. How can it be different? Only thing, when you use the Brahman like Brahma Astra, Brahmastra, even though has come from Brahma, but if you use it for a wrong purpose, it causes your own destruction, not only the other's destruction, or not the other's destruction. Either not only or not, both. So Bhagavan said, vangvai Brahma in our jiva. So in order to attain, so why we are telling this? So only to explain that each and every word spoken, each and every vaani that comes out of you, each and every thought that comes in your mind is vang. About vak, we have already explained quite a lot. Vaani and vak, we have explained about it in the previous chapters quite a lot, where in the Indriyas, vak is very important, they said. Vaani is very important. Vak is important. Is why he said, vangvai Brahmaha. Now, the purpose of saying this is here is that when Sant Uddalaka, when he is explaining the Brahma Tattva to Shvetaketu, each and every Vani is Brahma. See, that's why he is able to explain them untiringly. So he said, there should not be any doubt on that. When Brahma's Tattva, suppose Brahma comes in front of the man who does the tapasya, and he says, okay, I am giving you Brahmastra. Now the one who receives it should know what are the qualities of Brahmastra, is it not? To apply that. Suppose after receiving the Brahmastra, which is superior to all astras, except the Sudarshana Chakra or Bhagavan Shiva's Trishula, none can stop Brahmastra. Even sometimes they also cannot stop Brahmastra. Sometimes, but according to the Puranas, they say only these can stop the Brahmastra. Otherwise, once it is left, it goes. And unless one knows the Prayoga Samhara, that how to withdraw it, how to return it back. So same way, suppose the man who is received the Brahmastra, after receiving it, suppose he asks Brahma, hey Brahma, please tell me what is this and how to use it. How it will look. You understand? There should not be a doubt in that. Will it work, Brahmaji? Are you really giving me the right one? Or have you made something different for Asuras, different, Devas different? Brahma doesn't do it. Suppose he asks, even though it has not happened. What happens? The one who is not eligible to receive the Brahmastra. See. So when Uddalaka explaining Shvetaketu, Shvetaketu keeps on, you see, you should remember what he has been asking. Every time what he has asked. He has never asked Bhagavan, I have never heard about it, I have never learned about it. Because nobody knows what is Upanishad, what is Veda, and what are the Shastras. Then there is a method. See, there is a difference. So whenever Shvetaketu have asked, he had doubt, it's not clarification, so he was asking for the clarification, so he is asking always. So iti Shvetaketu iti bhuya eva ma bhagavan vijñāyatviti tatha some vacha. What he is saying? He is not saying that Bhagavan, what you are saying is right or wrong, because I have never heard it. But we say that, no? I have never heard it. Is it really true? Is it true what you are saying? Somebody says to yesterday there was an eclipse, or tomorrow there is going to be an eclipse. Is it true? Where it comes from, you should know. Yes. So, when the jnanam is being, what I am trying to tell you, when jnanam is not some lesson you are listening. Jnanam is not some upanyasa you are listening, some essay you are listening. It is not some sort of story you are listening. It is not an upakatha you are listening. It's not a katha you are listening. In story, in katha and upakatha, there are so many things which are added to make the things, appear to be fact or appealing to the listener. That's only for the, paraphernalia, dressing up. Like in a cake, a dressing up is not important, is it necessary? But still you do all that, no? Because it should appear presentable in a cake, is it not? Otherwise, what you are eating is that what is inside there. When you are eating it, mostly we take it out because it's only sugar. That's what is applied on top. Same way in upagathas and kathas, this has to be applied. So, except that, the other things are factuals. One, the listener should be eligible. The qualification of the listener is that he should know what he is listening to. Then only he can understand. That's why Upanishads is not explained everywhere. That's why you don't find there are common classes or things like that for Upanishads, except in ashrams who are taking sannyasa, who are jnanis, who are brahmacharis, who have an intention to go for a sannyasa, who have intention to understand the Brahmajnanam, Brahmatattvam. For such people it is explained. That's why it is not common. So same way, when Shvetaketu is asking, doubts will come because they are subjects which are not known to us. It is not in our, even if you know it, you won't know it afterwards. Again there will be doubts. So there are supposed to be doubts. There are supposed to be clarifications to be sought. But what happens? Shvetaketu is not saying that, oh, Bhagavan, is it a fact? Has never asked. What is it? Hey Bhagavan, Bhagavan vijñāna payam atviti tatha sumeti. That means that which is a subtle essence, Yesho, hey Bhagavan, here the true translation what Swamiji is writing here is that, may the Venerable Sir explain to me over again. It's not saying that it is not true or I have not understood nothing. Will you please tell me once more? Is good enough. The way he expresses it, hey Bhagavan, O Venerable One, hey Bhagavan, will you please tell me once more? So he says, Tathastu, let it be so. He is not saying that. He is also not asking. That means you have not understood. You are a fool. There is no point in explaining to you. No. This is fine. Because jnanam is not that easy. Because in jnanam, shraddha and bhakti has to be there. Jnanam is not attained through intelligence, not with your memory power, not with your knowledge of language, or not with your ability to use the language the way you like. It is not the way you can handle the language or the grammar that which makes you understand. It is not that. Jnanam is beyond that. That's why vangvai Brahmaha. Vaani is Brahman. When the Brahma Jnanam comes through the Vaani, it has to be perceived, that's all. It should not be understood or listened through the organ of the external organ. It's only to be absorbed in you. That's all. There is no other way. That's how it has to be done. Is why I explained about the vangvai Brahmaha. That's why Veda Vyasa also says in his Upanishad, in the Shastras, and everywhere, that vangvai Brahmaha. Even in Bhagavad Gita you will find Bhagavan, when he says questions, when he says about the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asks him, hey Bhagavan, he's not asking anything else. He's asking, is it not that sannyasa yoga better than the karma yoga? He is not telling that, karma yoga I do not understand, I do not want to do. Is it not the sannyasa yoga better than the karma yoga? So Bhagavan explains the karma yoga is the maximum biggest chapter in every human's life, ultimately to come to a status where to know that it is absolutely a very small portion in life, even though the life is meant for karma yoga. It's the most negligible part of it. Why? Because ultimately Bhagavan explains that in order to attain the jnanam and the Brahma jnanam, what is required for a person? How do you want to execute your karmas? I have explained about this. How do you have to explain? How do you have to execute your karmas? Is that only in one word when you explain, is by executing the karma through nishkama karma. That's all. Naishkarmya karma, he said. No. That's through nishkama karma only that one attains it. If one, then question comes, then only from that word only the whole explanation has come. If you call it as a karma, as nishkama karma, why one do the karma? Why one does the karma? Why it is nishkama? When it is nishkama, is it karma? When it is nishkama, well, then the explanation of the whole Upanishad comes. So from that word, the whole Upanishad comes. Whole our karma kanda comes from nishkama karma. Then what is karma? If it is nishkama karma, what is karma? Karma, that which is kama karma, is that desirous for a particular purpose that you are executing a karma, is that kama karma. The other one is the nishkama karma, that what you are not executing. Then should I call it as a karma? No, it is not a karma. It just happens. Even though we name it as a nishkama karma, when Bhagavan himself says that when one does the karma as nishkama karma, it is not execution of karmas, it is exhausting the karmas. When it is executed, then only it is known as karma. When it is exhausted, it is not known as a karma. Yeah. When it retains as water, then only it is known as water. When it is evaporated, we don't call it as water. Do we? No. Is that what it is? So Shraddha. So this has to be listened with Shraddha and Bhakti. Is why Bhagavan said, then further Bhagavan is after the illustration, with the help of an illustration, please explain me. Because my level of absorption is not as high as yours. But he says, Shvetaketu says, hey Bhagavan, please explain me if you can, and then if there is an illustration of an example with that, the process by which a person, so he says, no, what is that to be explained? Because he had been explaining about the how to identify yourself. What is prana? What is atma? That's what we had been talking about. So he says, please explain me over again with the help of an illustration the process by which a person having a guru becomes united with the existence. That's all. He is not saying the one who doesn't have a guru will not get united with the existence. No. He is sure of it. He wants to know. See, why I am saying this, because our methodology of understanding and education is totally different. We always would ask, suppose a common man would ask, tell me, if there is no guru, why one is not able to understand? Is it not this the way how we ask? Shvetaketu being a jnani, how is asking? Tell me, having a guru, how am I able to merge with the existence or the Parabrahman? You see? What is the difference in this? Can you tell me? Why did I say so importantly about this sentence? Why did I say how we are asking? How we would have asked and how Shvetaketu was asking? What is the reason? What do you understand from this question?
Everyone has a guru.
No. Just to know what you understand. What do you understand from these things? One is the methodology of question. Now I am not asking the meaning of it. The methodology of questioning is what I am asking for. I hope am I clear?
Process of elimination.
What is that? What do you understand from this in one word? If you the subtle meaning of it. One is saying that with the Guru's help, how can I merge with the existence? Another question with an ordinary man who is not knowledge here is that jnana. Who is not a jnani, he would ask, tell me why I cannot merge with the existence without a guru.
You're using your intelligence in the process of, I know your question.
I know what you mean. Yes, I knew that is also not.
Okay.
I'll tell you. I'm not trying to eliminate things, but just to want to know a feedback. Whether I'm able to explain it properly or not. That's what I'm seeing, so that I can improve myself. Any suggestion? Anything?
Vak Shuddhi.
There is no question or there is no doubt in his mind.
Closer, some more. You're in the superficial circle.
Mama, in this, my approach is very, I'm sure that this will happen, and that is little negative.
One is a positive, one is negative.
This is more positive.
More or less you are coming to closer, all are coming to closer. Everybody knows what it is, but don't know how to express it, that's all.
Exactly.
So one should know. So that, why one should know? Again, as we know that how to ask a question, we also should know why it should be asked in such manner, is it not? That also should be there. So what is that? Why you know? When I say that, you will say, oh, I know it. That's always like that, There's nothing nobody knows. Everything is known by everyone. His focus is on merging with the existence. Whereas he never thinks, how can I do it otherwise? The one who has got an option, he only will think the other way around. Or one who wants to take another chance or other path only will think that. But as far as he is concerned, his path is only what the Guru said. His path is only, so his focus is on Brahmajnanam. When you are focused on Brahmajnanam, you will ask your questions also unconsciously or consciously through Brahmajnanam only. This is also Brahmajnanam. Asking a question about the Brahmajnanam is also Brahmajnanam. So his focus, what I am telling is that, the one word, his focus is on Brahmajnanam. If he had his focus been on that not merging, merging with the existence, but not through the Guru, if he has got that focus, then only he will ask for that question. But his focus is through the Guru only I can attain the Brahmajnanam. He doesn't have a doubt on that, but his focus is on, but how, which process? Like in Kathopanishad, or the young boy of 9 years, Nachiketa has asked Yamadeva, the Mahaguru, his questions are also were exactly like this, His focus, that is why Yama was trapped. Had he asked the other option of it, Yama would have bifurcated from him and very intelligently pushed him out. The Guru had no other way, because his question was such that Guru has no other way other than to accept him and take him there. This is how it is. So if he asks, tell me if any other way through other than the Guru I can attain the Brahmajnanam, he would explain thousands of things, and he says, you go to United States and then work there as a slave and then earn some money. Then afterwards you take a ship and come to India, so that it will take number of years to come. By the time you will die. So, sorry for that, I didn't mean that. And some explanation he will give and avoid it. Whereas when he has asked, hey Bhagavan, through the Guru, how should I attain the Brahmajnanam or the existence, how to merge the existence, please tell me. He has to tell specifically only that. The Guru has been put into that track by the disciple. Isn't it? This is how it is. Why? Because he spoke, and the Guru is happy. Why? Because he knew how the Guru becomes happy. When an intelligent question or when a right question is asked, he is the happiest person. Why? Because he knows that he is imparting the knowledge to the right person. You see, that's the greatest happiness that happens. So he asked, hey Bhagavan, see, each and every word has to be understood in Upanishad. Is why I am explaining this threadbare. So a person who is intending to go to the Brahmajnanam has to focus. Is why in the Upanishads and Shastras I have told, Vedavyasa himself said that. Initially you can have, like Dattatreya said that there are 24 gurus for him. 24 is numerous actually. Not even though there are names he writes about, scorpion is my guru, snake is my guru. Everything he writes, they are all gurus from him. From them he has learned something. It doesn't mean all the 24 becomes the guru. Dattatreya explains, we have to learn from everything, because they are all Parabrahmas, avataras. That is what he means. That means you have to learn from it. One is that learning, the experience of while living, executing the karmas in the world. That is a different thing. There can be thousands of them like this in the initial stages to learn. Yes. A child can go through the nursery school, then the primary school, then the middle school, then when we learned, we had middle school. Then the higher school, high school, then the university and the colleges and the universities, then what becomes? Then he becomes a man who experiments himself and become a doctorate. How he becomes a doctorate? Who becomes a PhD? Through his own experience. Ultimately, all this teaching and all these learnings have been done only to have one guru. Is why in many places, many people misunderstand this, that there should be only one guru. there will be many people have told this. Many people have told it. So these are all misunderstood actually. And it should not be explained in such a way that it should not be a slavery. It is not a slavery. It should not be a slavery. There are so many people, who takes it or even some of the gurus are, explaining it as, it should be as if it is a bonded labor. Like I own you. It's not like that. Here what happens? Unless that is there, what is that? Again, I am coming to this. What is that? The focus will not be there. It is not that one saint, Maharishi Vasishta, Maharishi Vishwamitra, Vedavyasa, Narada. No. All will teach you the same thing. But what happens? The methodology of interpretations and putting into is different. You see, Narada Bhakti Sutra, he started chanting about Krishna mantras and started from that Krishna and then invisibility, then Bhagavan, then there is Brahman. There is no one there. His methodology. Vasishta is different way. Vedavyasa says that Brahma Tattva, Brahma Jnanam. So each one has the method. Now, suppose a person wants to follow all the four. Where will be his focus? Will he do the chanting of this? Will you do the chanting of this? Will he do the chanting of that? Will you do the chanting of this? So, initially you have to look at which level of knowledge you can absorb. Some people you cannot understand. Some people you think, it is not enough, I want a little more. For some, that is why they said that, you have to listen to first what happens, listen. Then, it is not only that which is simplified and you understand that you accept as a guru, no. Whom should you accept as a guru? The one who explains what you don't understand. What you understand, why should that be a guru? Simple, is it not? You should listen to the one you do not understand. So you have to listen to that. We have to learn that we don't understand. We are reading so many small booklets. So many people have translated so many, from many countries, many languages, many things have been translated. Read it, we understand it. So many people have written so many things. But when we come to the Upanishads, we stuck. No? Why is it happening? So what happens? This is what we should listen to. Because this is what I don't understand. That what you don't understand. That what where. And where the truth is. Not only that what you don't understand. Where the truth is through which you should walk through the path. So that you can attain through that. So jnana margam. Everything leads to jnana. Even sannyasa leads to jnana. So prajnanam brahmaha. That's it. Prajnanam brahma. Jnanam only will reach you. Karma yoga also gives you jnanam. No? Sannyasa yoga gives you jnanam. Jnana marga gives you jnanam. What is jnanam? What is jnanam? The jnanam is that the day you understand, there is no dvandva bhava in me, dvandvam in me. My sharira, my atma. That dvandvata, the day it goes, you attain jnana. Jnanam is also confirming the Brahma Tattvam, Brahma Jnanam is also Jnana Sakshatkaram. Brahma Sakshatkaram is also Jnanam. The path you walk in, practices, is also jnana. Like Shwetaketu can be called as a jnani here itself. Why? Because his focus is on Brahmajnana. Is also jnana. His focus is on that. So like that in Kathopanishad, Nachiketa, Prashna Upanishad, all the 6 disciples, they are all Brahmajanis. They are all in the path of Brahman, you see. Their focus is only that. Their question is only that. Their answer is only that. Their thinking is only that. Their karmas are only that. Brahman, you know. Their living is only that. Everything is based on that. They are only clarifying and advancing and exploiting the reasons and reasonabilities of it. Likely. Is it right? Do you accept it? Is your mind accepting what I am saying? It's called the Brahmajnana. That is what we should attain. Because the purpose of our life is only for attainment of that jnanam through nishkama karma, nishkama bhakti. Nishkama karma and nishkama bhakti. Where you can have nishkama karma? Nishkama karma means when you do karma, there are thousands of karmas, is it not? See, everywhere the same principle is applicable, is what I am trying to tell you. Suppose I have to do karmas, I have thousands of karmas to execute. Whereas if I do a nishkama karma, what is there? There is only one karma. Right? Because I am giving importance to nishkama. So whether I drink water, whether I eat my food, whether I walk, whether I do my exercise, all are different karmas to somebody who is a karma yogi or doing the karmas. But for a nishkama karmi, they are all one. Because everything is ending at nishkamata, where I don't expect any results out of it. I am not expecting anything out of it, but I am doing it. So what happens in nishkama karma? Same way in nishkama bhakti. In nishkama bhakti, there is no difference between devatas and deva, Devi, Krishna, Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma, or there are no difference. Is there any difference? In bhakti, do you see a form in nishkama bhakti? No. In nishkama bhakti is nishkama bhakti. It's a bhakti, it's a bhava. The kamana is not there. When kamana is there, then only I will have the swarupa. When kamana is there, then only I have the gunas of the devata. Hey, Bhagavan Shiv will chipra prasadi. So let me do puja to Bhagavan Shiv, because he will chipra prasadi, he will appear immediately. What happened? That's not nishkama karma. There's a bad intention behind. Every intention is bad. Okay. So we don't have to qualify. There's an intention behind it. Just do bhakti. It can be Shiva Swarupa, Krishna Swarupa, Vishnu Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa, whatever it is, doesn't matter. To start with, initially, to focus. No. After that, the disappearance of the Rupa should go. Because you have a Rupa so long your consciousness have a Rupa, you will have a Rupa in which you are devoting in. You have a difference between, that's why later in the Upanishad it comes to Narada. You can imagine who is Narada, no? Highly Devarishi. Goes to Sanat Kumara saying that, hey Bhagavan, please teach me how to have peace. Who is asking whom, you see? Narada is asking. So what happens? Where is the end? Only to teach us, lots of explanations have been given. So what happens, what I am trying to tell you is that when there is a, then the explanation also comes. When there is a Nishkama Bhakti, when you have a Swarupa, when you have a Rupa, Swarupa, then only you have a Rupa that you are looking at. See. When you have that's why Bhagavan Vedavyasa said that. When you look at the Guru in that Rupa, then you have the Rupa seen. So what happens? When the knowledge is coming from the Guru, when the Jnanam is being imparted from the Guru, you focus on the Guru, he said. Everywhere, in the Shramurti Stotram, this also says that. The Guru is young and the disciples are old, but he concentrates on the third eye. Concentrate on the third eye means that your focus should be on the jnanam that is being delivered by the Guru. Because jnanam is being imparted only through the third eye. Why it is told that? I am going little away from, because to understand these things, certain paraphernalias are required also. Do you know why we say that from the focus on the third eye, from the third eye is only the jnanam comes? What is the reason? Is it not the Guru Vaani is good enough? Even though vangvai Brahmaha is there, vangvai Brahmaha is right. I am not defying that. I have told that. It was told by Upanishad also. Why am I saying that one should focus on the third eye? See, it's a very common thing. We all know that third eye. We all know that it's Jnanagendra. Yeah.
Knowledge is transferred, Baba, when you concentrate on the third eye from the Guru to the disciple. It is perceived, it's not understood.
Vangvai Brahmaha. Vaani is Brahman. Here the difference is not that what he is speaking, that what you are listening. The Vaani, as far as a Brahmajnani is concerned, for him, the Vang means not the Vakya, Vaani, the sound. It's not Shabda. He didn't say Shabdam. What he said? Vangvai Brahmaha. He said Vaani is Brahman. Vaani means that which you listens, He didn't say Shabda. What you listen? We always, because we are listening through the ear and we listen only Shabda, we conclude it as a Vaani is only through Shabda. When I am speaking Upanishad through the Vaani, which you are listening through the Indriya, but when you are focusing on the Guru, you are also listening the Vaani through the, when you are listening the Vaani through the Indriya of Karna, you are seeing the Jnanam through the third eye. The Indriya, the Jnanam, what you are doing? You are seeing Pratyaksha Bhavena. What is Pratyaksha Bhavena? What is Vaani that you are listening? It's Paroksha. It's not Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha Bhavena, acceptance. That means in appearance you are accepting the Vaani through the third eye. Why third eye? Why not the right eye? Why not the left eye? Why the third eye? Third eye which we cannot see, which is not there. Is it not? That's right. That which is not there. The right eye and the left eye are the eyes which are meant for only Physical, in the physical level. So through that, the jnanam cannot come. Through that only experience and expression can come. If I am angry, if I am sad, if I am, no, so you can see in the eye. But if I am jnanam, he says, people say, no, you look into his eyes, you go into deeper into his eyes. When you go deeper into the eyes, you are not seeing the eyes. Am I right? That's called the pratyaksham. No? Pratyaksha bhavena means from the third eye, the eye there which is not existing in a human jivatma. The third eye which is not existing in the jivatma, then where is it existing? It is existing in the jnani. That's all. It is existing in the jnani. Who is a jnani? The jnanam who doesn't have any dvandva bhava. That means he who is a Maharishi, who has attained the Brahma Jnanam Brahma Tattvam. His thoughts are Brahman, his vision is Brahman, his listening is Brahman. He may appear to be a normal human being, walking naked. Agna sannyasis are there, but it's not alone. That's a siddhi also sometimes. He is not, the principle of that, walking naked, is that he is not aware of his body, is the meaning of it. He is not. No. When you are aware of the body, then only one will have a difference. Somebody is dressed up, somebody is not dressed up. I should be ashamed of walking naked. One should cover oneself. This question comes only when the consciousness of body itself comes. As far as he is supposed to be, he doesn't have a body. So what happened? The dvandvadainiyam, sharira is different, atma is different, should not be. There is the principle of that. But here what happens is that with practice also one can walk naked. There are so many people who are not sannyasis in the other countries walking naked. They are not nagna sannyasis. No? Is it not? Yeah, there are cruises, which leaves ports and goes for 13 days, 14 days. Your entry, I can show you, some of the German magazine it was there, or even in the other magazines were there. You are supposed to enter the ship only naked till you come out. All your clothes have to be given to the cloak room, and when you come back only you will get it. They are not supposed to be Nagana sannyasis. They are not come out of the consciousness of the body. They are conscious of the body. So don't misunderstand. Since I know about it, when I am talking the subject, I must talk both sides. No, that is jnanam. Jnanam is that unaware, dvandvata should not be there. That's jnanam. Jnanam is that knowing everything, there is nothing to know, is called jnani. Jnanam is also, as I told you, knowing the Brahman, sarvam khalvidam Brahma. Jnanam is also that you are in the path of, I like Shvetaketu, in the path of focus is only on jnana. So your questions, your thoughts, your vision, your eating, your drinking, your executing, any of those normal karmas also you will execute. You won't find any difference, but their approach is totally different. His thought is totally different. That's why we are unable to identify the nobleman by his external appearances. Somebody may be in a suit, somebody may be in, like this sannyasi. Okay, anyway, I'm not good. One serial is there, one Mahakumbh is there, where they are explaining about the 7 people who come, representing the protection to the Mahakumbh. A scientist is explaining about the scientific reasons of it. See, the scientific reasons. One doctor, I'm not naming any. There is an episode, but there are a lot of dramas in that. There is nothing that we have to avoid. Go into only the truth of it, then it is wonderful. Only the truth. A lot of paraphernalias are there. Well, why am I saying all this, when we are learning, when we are understanding the Upanishad, when we are walking, if one has an intention to walk on the spiritual path, one has an intention to perceive the Upanishad, the focus should be on Upanishad. Then what happens? Dvandvata should not be there. Then only the jnanam will persist. So attaining through the third eye in the sense, the vision of the jnanam, not only the listening, all the I have told this number of times, I think, that ekagra chitta or to be listening means no, all the indriyas should be focusing only on that particular thing. Then only he becomes a jnani. And through that only we attain the liberation from the ajnanam. Where is the liberation? When you are focusing on the jnanam, you have attained. You are liberated from ajnanam. Finished. Brahma Sakshatkaram. Ho gaya. This is exactly what's. Am I clear now? Is it clear to you? Yes. Only thing we have to practice it. The awareness is there. We have to meditate on that. We will have to meditate. We will meditate. Now, meditation should be done, as I always said, after establishing the fact in your mind firmly, so that when you are focusing in meditation, you will not focus on other things. You will focus only on the truth. When you focus on the truth, truth will appear. That is why in our country, when we meditate, we can easily go into the path of meditation. Even though the European countries and America and other places where they are progressive country today, what we call as progressive, when you meditate there, it's not that people are not there who are spiritually developed, but it's a struggle, to come up to the level of it. How many Maharishis are there? Tell me. Here we ourselves can name so many people still available in Himalayas. It's difficult because there are three factors. There are three factors to attain this. One is that environment. Yes, that should influence you towards that. Second is your own jnanam, focus on that. Third is that the Guru who is guiding you. If these three are palatable to you, you immediately. Suppose the environment is supportive to meditation. Your focus is supportive to meditation, not that many things are disturbing you, bothering you. If the guidance is supportive, there is. So in the other places what happens? The environment is not there. Everywhere the materialism is overtaking the spirituality. And in fact they are buying spirituality. When they are buying spirituality, it's materialism. In our country also, there are so many places where we buy spirituality, it is materialism. That's why I always told, have the bifurcation differences. God has created many people with many karmas to be done. There are so many people who help so many people. Good. God has intentionally created. Their job is to help others, help the other jivatmas. Thousands of people are helped by them. Great punya karma, no doubt. Feed somebody, great punya karma, no doubt. But that is not liberation for Brahmajnana. You understand? There has to be a clear-cut understanding. See, somebody says, Madhava Seva is Manava Seva. No. Manava Seva is Madhava Seva. Sorry, it's the other way around. It is not Manava Seva is Madhava Seva. The Seva Bhavana is the liberation process. I told you about the Seva. I think earlier, elaborately I told what is called the Seva in the Jnana. Again, attainment of the Jnana. What they are learning is that through execution of the Manava Seva, they are attaining the Jnana. That's another way. Through karma. Like Arjuna, fighting the war, he earned the jnanam. Before fighting the war, he said, they are my kith and kin. I cannot kill them. After the war is over, he has no repentance on that. See, the focus has changed. He has done only the adharmis have been killed, that's all. It is adharma which has been killed, it is not the people whom he has killed. Jivatmas have not been killed. Nobody can kill anybody, in fact. This perception, the concept has been changed before war and after war. Now here also, before war is before understanding the Upanishad, after understanding the Upanishad. Before liberation from the ajnana and after liberation from the ajnana. I get it. This is how you have to look at it, okay? Is how we have ended the last session, where this question was inspired me to explain you all this. I liked his questioning. The way of presenting his question was, I thought, why he is asking such? Why not he ask, hey Bhagavan, explain me, if this is how it is, if this is also, why it is not like this? No, that he has never asked. So I started thinking on that, then I found that he has not, that thought has not been there at all. Then how will he ask that question? Because his focus is on that. That's why I said jnanam is also, practicing that is also a jnanam. Practicing Brahmajnanam is also jnanam. Is why we have to attain that. So, ekagrata, from focus on one. Choose. If you don't want to learn Upanishad, if you want to learn business technology, learn only that. Focus on that. So that you will have, probably your path is that. You have to go through that. But otherwise focus on that. And if you deviate from various principles are all same. Nobody talks, whether it is Sai Baba, or whether it is Ramana Maharshi, or whether it is Yogananda Paramahansa, or whether it is Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, Vedavyasa, or Durvasa, or Narada. They are talking about one Brahmajnanam only. There's no difference. But each has their own sets of disciples. Why? Because each one is diverted. Now here, Vaishambhayana, who is a disciple of Vedavyasa again, explains about the truth of presence of the Vedavyasa in Vaishambhayana, is how this is coming. This also Vedavyasas. Because when Vaishambhayana has become a disciple, he has, even though the name, for the namesake, that Sharira of Vishambhayana is the one who has written this through Yajnavalkya. But what happens? Being a disciple of Vedavyasa, Vaishambhayana has become one with Vedavyasa. And Vedavyasa has become one with Ishvara Swarupa. Even today, that's the place, no? In Assam. At Vasishtha, no? Oh, Vasishtha Ashram. Vasishtha, again, has become the Lord Shiva, they say. Okay, now we go to the 15th chapter, 15. So, 6:15:1 says, in Upanishad, in Chandogya, Purushaha somyoto upatapinam Jnatayah paryupasate janasi mam iti tasya yavanna vang manasi sammadhyate manah prane pranastejasi tejah parasyam devadayam tavat jnanati. So when he has asked Shvetaketu, when he asked Bhagavan Uddalaka about the further explanation with the illustration. He says, hey Soumya, hey Soumya, the one who is wonderful is Soumya. Soma, Soumya. Relatives sit around. Oh, so maybe. Relatives, the relatives sit around. This is the explanation. What he has, just a translation. Sit around on an ailing person before he departs with the last ends. Everybody comes and asks. Daughter comes from somewhere else, son comes from somewhere else. You ask him, hey, father or uncle or chacha, chachi. They ask, hey, do you recognize me? Are you able to? I am so and so. Somebody expects me. See who has come. कौन आया समझा बात नहीं सुनाई then he interprets समझते हैं लेकिन वो दिखाता नहीं समझते हैं as if he has gone inside and seen them है ना I'm just joking, okay. So what is that? I'm explaining the situation. Do you recognize me? Is what the other is asking. Do you recognize me? He recognizes so long as his speech does not become merged in the mind. Mind in the vital force in the warmth, and the warmth into supreme deity. It's a process. Vang, so long the vaani is there, with vaani we express. Gradually, as I told you about some time back also, when the death comes, what happens? Each indriyas, one by one, not all together, one by one, merges to the mana. Mana merges to the prana. Prana merges to the atma. Atma merges to the paramatma. So vak, initially, the vak is lost. Unable to speak, but he understands what he said. No. That means mana is awake. He listens. He can listen. Okay. But slowly, he doesn't listen. He doesn't see. He doesn't understand. Slowly what happens? He doesn't understand anyone. Because mana. Mind has gone. When mind has gone, prana is still there. Then after some time, prana assimilating all what is necessary. He sits in the back office. Bank is closed. Olden days, 2 o'clock bank closes. Is it today? No, nowadays different, no? I remember, before 2 o'clock bank closes. After that, they will sit in the back office, do all their that day's job. Same thing happens. All the front desk will close. Back office will work. Prana still works for another 2.5 hours. Then it merges to the Atma, and Atma goes. So he says that ultimately it goes to the warmth that is the Agni Tattva. All the Tattvas one by one, Prithvi Tattva first, Jala Tattva, Agni Tattva, and Vayu Tattva. Sorry, not Agni Tattva, Vayu Tattva. Everything goes back, as I explained, you to remember that way how the creation has come from the Agni first. Agni, Jala, Prithvi is that what we had been explaining. So everything goes to the Agni Tattva. And from the Agni Tattva is the one which merges. Ultimately, Agni Tattva is the one which merges to the Atma or the Supreme Deity. Is a principle. Based on this principle only, the Hindu Tattva has advised to cremate the bodies. Agni Tattva. Presuming that including the experience of body goes into the Agni Tattva. Even though it is based on the highly hygienic process, But that is also based on the principle that everything has to be merged in the Agni Tattva. Even if it is left otherwise also, it has to merge with the Agni Tattva. But the process is long. So instead of that, they do this. The saints are not cremated, sannyasis. They go into samadhi. They call it as samadhi. What is the reason, They are kept like that. Why? Because they have already come out of, the principle is that they have already come out of the Dvandvam. Their Sharira and the Mana is not there. They are only functioning based on the Atma. This Sharira is a utility by the Atma for the external appearance and for transmitting the Jnanam to the others. As far as they are concerned, they do not have an ownership to the body. They have already gone into the Agni Tattva, because it was the Agni Tattva that was functioning as far as they are living. In a Guru, it is the Agni Tattva. All other Tattvas merges into that. When you take the aura photography also, you will find that the Jnana Tattva will be high and all other in chakras will be merging, or it will be lower in them. Why? Because it is the Agni Tattva that is prevalent, that is higher. Other chakras will have smaller function to do, that's all. So their division of body doesn't belong to so and so anymore. So what happens? For them, the jnanis, they are put into samadhi. Why? Because they are not there. He is not there. So merging his Sharira to his Atma through Agni Tattva by an action here is not necessary. This body which doesn't belong to anyone, let us put it that way, why should he merge in the name of so and so? It doesn't. So they go into samadhi, and this samadhi, there is one principle. Second principle. In sannyasa, what happens? Sannyasa is that at the end of the sannyasa, in a sannyasi, in the true sannyasi, only Agni Tattva is prevalent, And through this Agni Tattva, because Agni Tattva, from Agni Tattva only Jala Tattva, Vayu Tattva and the Prithvi Tattva has come out. And the Agni Tattva is the one which is closest to the Parabrahman, Because the next step is Brahman, that's all. So Agni Tattva is the closest to the Parabrahman. It is the Agni Tattva which functions in him. Agni Tattva as a whole, which has a bifurcation of Prithvi, Jala and Vayu, is it not? So, the Agni Tattva will represent one-man show there. I don't want anybody's help. Why? Because I function only through the Jnanam. When I am functioning through the Jnanam, I have only Agni Tattva in me. When Agni Tattva is there, it functions the Prithvi Tattva when it is necessary and goes back to Agni Tattva. When it is necessary, it functions as the Jala Tattva, goes back. Suppose there is a businessman. He has got only his own business. He doesn't have any employees. So what happens? Dispatch of letters is done by him. There is no dispatch clerk for that. Accounting is done by him. He is an accountant. Purchases are done by him. Purchase officer. Execution is done by him, an executive. Yes. So all jobs, what I am trying to tell you, all jobs are done by him. He has the character, his capacity. When he doesn't have time, the volume is more, or he is not capable of handling the other things, then he hires the others for doing that job. Okay? When the Agni Tattva is there, when in the Jivatma, when the karma phalas are there, the prarabdha karma is there, in order to execute the prarabdha karma, Agni Tattva will not touch. It's Parabrahman, representative of Parabrahman, because he is a witness. In order to execute that karma, he needs assistance. So he has divided, they have brought Jala Tattva, Vayu Tattva and the Prithvi Tattva to execute their own departments, and he finally takes the gist of it. Clear? In a saint, is it there? It's not there. Why? Because he does the Nishkama Karma. That's why the Nishkama Karma comes. Why the Nishkama Karma comes? Prithvi Tattva is not separate for him. In him, it is incorporated in his Agni Tattva. Whereas in the Jivatmas, Prithvi Tattva is different. Jala Tattva is different. Vayu Tattva is different. Agni Tattva is different. Whereas he is concerned, everything is Agni Tattva, even though he is doing that. So what happens? His Tattvas are same. So Nishkama Karma. When the Agni Tattva, when the Jnanam is executing something, even though it appears to be done by the Prithvi Tattva, by the Jala Tattva, by the Vayu Tattva, but as far as he is concerned, it is Agni Tattva who is doing it. As far as Agni Tattva is concerned, the moment comes to Agni, Nishkama Karma, no phalam is expected. I am just telling in words, that's all, no? Nishkama Karma, when his Nishkama Karma is done, he has only execution, he has only Agni Tattva prevalent in him. When the Agni Tattva is prevalent in a sannyasi, whenever he wants, he can execute his body to be exhausted at any point of time, utilizing this Agni Tattva in him. The body will not burn because it is not fire. It is Agni Tattva. Is why you are seeing he has left from the body with his Agni Tattva, has left the body, but he has not burned the body, but he has actually left the body in all respects. Is why he is put into Samadhi. Nobody has an authority to put his vehicle on fire. It is not that. See? So, what happens? When we have memories of people, we have statues of people or God. We have photographs of people and God. Why? Even though they have left the body, even everything is gone, what happened? We do not destroy them. Why? Because we consider them as still living. When I have to consider my Guru as still living, how can I burn? No. Well, it may be Sharira, representatively. I am talking about for the Jivatma. Is there anything wrong if you burn? Nothing wrong, according to me. But it's a process for the Jivatmas to understand that he lives. Why? Because, Gurus, even after death, what are they? They are not this body. They are not this anything. They are the Agni Tattva, they are the Paramartha, Parabrahma, Paramartha. When they are the Paramartha and Parabrahma, whether in this body or the other bodies, he always lives. But then, when he is put into Samadhi, in case he wants to, it's all perception, to get into the same body again, come back, come to service, he can come. Doesn't destroy that. Adi Shankara, when he wanted to have the experience of the worldly karmas, do you know the story, Adi Shankara, he didn't have the experience of the worldly karma because he was a born saint, because Ishvara Paramartha, he knows only the Brahmajnanam, that's all. He didn't have any experience of the objective experiences, worldly karmas. So for 1 year, he kept his disciple near the body to take care of it so that nobody touches it. His Atma goes into a king's, Chakravarti's body, king's body. He experiences the life of a person, an individual in all respects, and learns that, and he comes back into the body is a question. Yeah, you see, something like this. You understand what I am trying to tell? Preserves that body is what Adi Shankara has done. I think we all read it from his explanations that has been given. Adi Shankara, the great personality. So same thing what happens here, that's what is that. Slowly the understanding is left, the worldly attachment. Now, I would also remind you in case it suddenly comes to my mind what I spoke. When I start speaking, then suddenly comes all the back. I have explained in the last class, if you remember correct. One is having consciously attaining the Brahman, one is unconsciously attaining the Brahman. There is a saying that every Jivatma after the death attains the Parabrahman. According to his karmas, he comes back again from the Parabrahman because he is not, we have talked about that, eligible for that merging doesn't take place because the density of both or the characteristics of the both is what I said are not same unless it is absolutely same. We say when you are doing the painting, 5 colors, that white is better than this white. Both are white. This is not matching with that, this is not. How do you identify? You see, that is not matching. So when it is not matching, you have to have the same color, same way. When our karmas are incomplete, when the Nishkama karma is not there, it will not have a merging. So what happens? He comes back again because he has gone unconsciously, like sleeping. Sleeping is equivalent to the death. Same thing happens. No. As far as the liberation is concerned, it is equivalent. Both are unconscious. What happened? Without an intention, without a jnanam, he is going to the Parabrahman by a process of that. That's all. It's a circulation. That's all. See. Whereas a jnani, after knowing it consciously, he departs it. This is what I have explained in the previous class, if I remember correct, or the class before that. Is why these explanations are being given. It is not that. Unless a jnani, or unless a yogi, or unless a brahmachari, or unless a normal person or a grihastha, ashrami, who wants to get the liberation towards the Parabrahman and attain the Parabrahman in the right manner, he has to be conscious of it, unconsciously come out of it. Yes. It's not that unconsciously going. Unconsciously going has got only this repercussion of that. He just travels without he knowing where he is going, and he comes back without knowing why I have come back. Then he realizes, oh yes, this is why I have come back. Is what he is explaining, these details. So this is why Shwetaketu has to understand from this where Saint Jnani or Rishi Uddhalaka, when he explains about the Janasi Mama Yavat, so long as, he says this, unless the warmth has to be attaining the deity in its own self, till then one has to function till the time we function as the witness of the execution of karmas. That's how you realize it, And we will take the second shloka next class. Om Shanti. As I have already told, you will find that most of these explanations what I am giving here also, we have already taken in different Upanishads in different times, in a different situation, with a different explanation and manner. You will find a lot of repetitions are there, but in a different way. Why it is like that? I have explained it again, but I would like to explain again. Why is it again that we are doing postmortem of these things and interpretation of these things in various manners? Is that from all the angles one has to look at it, so that there is no loophole left. You see, in Chandogya, he has elaborated many things, which was not there in the previous Upanishad. Even though the subject we have covered while talking, I spoke, I think, elaborate on that with examples and other things. You will find more or less the same thing is here, but with a different situation and this different explanation. So when we attain different experiences of explanation, we don't understand the truth, you see. It's not. So we do that. When a person goes to some 5-star hotel and stays there for 10 days, eats the food there, 10th day he would prefer to starve. First day will be very interesting, second day will be little less interesting but interesting. Third day little more less interesting but interesting, because first day was Italian, second day was Chinese, third day was Korean, fourth day, it goes on like that. Finally, after knowing all the angles, what he says, get me my simple rice and dal, chapati and all, whatever you ate and you give me, bas, अच्छा लगता है, तब अच्छा लगता है. What happened? When did you have that अच्छा लगता है? When you have travelled in all angles. Yes. Like that. Brahma Sakshatkaram is being shown to you. Darshanam it is, It's a darshana grantham. It's a darshanam actually. When you have the darshanam of all angles, then you are absolutely no more clarifications required. Nothing more to ask is why. These explanations are necessary, and then what happens? The mind is very, tricky otherwise. Now, when you meditate or when you have in dhyanam, you will have an established, focused matter in you. Focused, absolutely doubtless, clear-cut perception is there in your understanding. Then you do meditation, you can imagine how wonderful it will be. It will not take you here and there, because as I explained you, focusing, because you have established it, you have to establish it. But if you have different paths, different ideas and different rupas in front of you, it's difficult. This is what happens. Om Shaaanthi. Section 12. Om Shaaanthi. Shambho Mahadeva. We were in section 12 of chapter 6. Yeah. So having found that there is only a thin solution left in the subtleness of the seed, sage Uddalaka told the disciple's son, that is the prana, that is the Atman which is all pervasive in the banyan tree. It is in the same case that which is very subtle, which cannot be identified, which cannot be seen by the eyes, felt by the organs, experienced by the sharira or any organ, indriyas, is that which is the prana and the atma. That which is subtle essence, all this is God, that is the self, and that is the truth. That is the self and that is the truth. Repeat. Why he has repeated that? That is the self and that is the truth. Because in that small speck of solution, there are no sthula bhava of any of the functions of the Atma. That which is totally detached even from the seed, even though it is inside the seed, it has nothing to do with the seed. It can be seen inside the seed, it's okay. Neither the outer shell, nor the inner granules, nor the bifurcation of granules. Then inside that is the liquid. So that speck of liquid is the cause of that minute granule, and the granule, and the outer cover of the granule, and the seed itself is sustaining because of that. Not that the solution is in the seed. No. The seed is because of the solution. That's no, that solution in the sense that liquid. Okay. It's better to say liquid. No? So it's the seed itself is because of the liquid. Even though we identify, or what we say, the liquid is inside the seed. In that liquid, all the qualities of the existence is inherent. Okay. But what happens when Shvetaketu looked at it? He could not find any of those things, what you call it as tree, human, or any other jivatma or any jiva. Nothing can be identified from that. Nor it has got any, Shakti capability. You take it and throw it out, it will fall there. Yes, it has no Shakti. It has no function of its own. It has no function of its own. Nothing can be seen, nothing can be identified. But sage tells that everything is inside that. Shvetaketu would not find anything. Absolutely right. Whether you throw it, or whether you keep it inside the granule, or whether you keep it inside the seed, or you throw it, or you smear it, or you dilute it, whatever happens, that which remains as that it is, in whichever condition, in whichever position, that what remains as it is, in whichever condition, in whatever position, at whatever time, whatever scala, whatever situations, is called that which is unchangeable, and that's called the Atma. Since that is unchangeable, that is also known as the truth. So he said that That is the truth and that is the Atma. Got it? Whatever you do, it will not change. Why is it not changing? Because it has so, even though I said that, oh, there is no strength in it. You see, you used your force, you cut it, you burned it, or you smeared it, you pressed it. Whatever you could do, you did. But what happened? That remained in its own form, everywhere, every time. By smearing, it might have got absorbed into the skin, but it remained in its own shape and form, in its own position. It has not changed. Your skin must have absorbed it, but it is there as it is. It has not changed. That which has a capability not to change under any circumstances is called Nityam, is called the Satya, is called the truth, is called the Atma. The Atma is also, it is same way. Whatever experiences that you undergo, whether it is bad, good, worst, torturous, somebody burned in the fire, somebody drowned in the water, somebody cut into pieces, Atma is not affected by any of these. No? In each and every part of it, there is Atma. The Atma, when it is burnt, the Atma in that object merges with the Atma in the Agni. Agni as Atma. And that Atma becomes helpful to the Agni to burn. But it by itself, it doesn't get burnt. By itself, it doesn't get diluted. By itself, it doesn't get changed. By itself, it doesn't change the shape and form. It's called the Atma, is called the truth. That's why he has qualified it with both these words. That is the self and the truth. See, they're not paryaya. Two qualifications are this. That is the self, what we call it as self, which doesn't, the self doesn't have any nature of changing. That's why we said it, in different other classes also. That which is not changeable, that which is existing, that which is all over the object. At any point of the object, the Atma is there. At any point of the object, the Prana is there. At any point, it is not only a particular place, which is, that's why it is known as all-pervasive. Omnipotent, omniscient and omnipresent, they said. It's omnipresent. Where is it? Prahlada asked, Hiranyakashipu asked, where is Bhagavan? Omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, all over, omnipresent. And that's the truth. It's all over. Even in you, he is there. Even in there, he is there. Even in the pillar, he is there. Even in me, it is there. Even in your eye that you are holding in your hand is also there. And you are functioning only because of him. That's what he said. That's called omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent. Stories have been meant only to make us understand that when even in the I have read some time back that some of the sects, some of the people, some of the sects believe that in the non-living objects, what we call it as non-living objects, it doesn't have the prana, it doesn't have energy, it doesn't have Atman. No, it is there, but it is there. That's what Prahlada proves, that even it is in the non-living object. See, this is the explanation to that. It is not only in the living objects, even in the non-living, what we call it as non-living objects. This I have told number of times, different occasions, that even if you cut that, so Hiranyakashipu, when he cut it, then automatically Narasimha comes. That everything in this universe is existing only because there is prana. If somebody says there is no prana in that, it will not exist. The existence in itself will not be there. Whether it is rock, whether it is sand, whether it is water, whether it is tree, whether it is XYZ immaterial, what we call it as absolutely dead. In everything there is prana. I have explained this, I think in Chandogya only, earlier in that meditation stage. Somebody asked whether there is prana in the dead body. Do you remember I have explained? Is there prana in the dead body? Is there prana in the dead body? I have explained this. Very, very detailed I explained. Is there prana in the dead body? Generally people will say there is no prana. That's why he is dead. There is prana. Only thing, not in the form that it has been experiencing, the body has been experiencing. Otherwise there is prana. Where are the prana? Where is the prana? That prana, same prana? Is the bacteria and insects, worms. Where the worms have come in the body after the death, if you leave it, where the worms have come. It's a prana from within only, it has not come from somewhere outside. No? It's from there only. So prana is there. Even in the dead body, prana is there, but not that the prana's function has changed. That's all. Prana's function has changed. It helps to destroy the body. Now, earlier it used to keep up the body. After the death, the same prana helps to destroy the body. Prana is that. So in everything, so till it is disintegrated, there is prana. So that is the truth, which is not changeable. It functions depending upon the necessity and requirement of the existence, not under our emotional guidance. Our prana is not functioning on our emotional guidance. Can you guide your prana? Can you instruct your prana? Can you order your prana? Today you be there, tomorrow don't be there. No, it's not possible. That is why it is known as Satya, truth. That's why it is known as the self. This is the aham actually. The truth is that which is unchangeable in me, that which is unchangeable, that is that which is permanent, that which is immortal, that which is not transformable is the self. So I always, that is why the word aham, the I has been pronounced by everyone. No? Is it not? What's the language? Whether you say or I say or you say, everyone says, I have done it. You know? Not that Bhanu has done it or no, so and so has done it or no, Rama has done it, Krishna has done it. We don't say that. No? When you are representing yourself, you don't say that. No? Only some children say that. Small children will say their name and then they say they have done it. Ignorance, of course. We all say, I have done it. The word is absolutely right. But only thing, the understanding and perception is wrong. When I say, I have done it, the same thing has been done by other also. He also says, I have done it. The third man says, I have done it. I have written a letter. 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 Is there any change? Who is that I? Whether in you or in me or in others and others everywhere, the I is that who is not changeable. That's all. Is why the addressing of I has come, Aham has come. Not for the individual bodies, but for the individual bifurcations of the prana. It is like air. This is what I have explained. And I explained about that. When you spray some fragrance, some area of the air has got the fragrance. This fragrance travels for some time, till it's such time it disintegrates into the self, it disintegrates into the air, the fragrance is there. Whoever can feel that in that color, in that intensity, for that time, he can experience that fragrance. After that, he cannot. And before that, he cannot. In some other level, he cannot. In some other place, he cannot. No? There is a very highly conditioned process that sprayed, and there is a fragrance. But even though it is fragrant, there has a fragrance, and it is for some time, kala, in that also there is air. Okay? The fragrant air, we call it. Air has been qualified with that. So what happened? In that portion, the fragrance is there. It has got a purpose of execution of karma. Same way. The prana is there, total. Atma is there, total. Like the fragrance for some area, it is there. Same way, the prana and Atma is there in some area to execute that fragrance for that time, for that much of area, for that much of time, to that much of experiencing. After that, it disintegrates into the existence. The fragrance is no more there, but the air, that which is not changeable, it is there. That which is changeable, which was absorbed by the not changeable, has been exhausted. After the experiencing is over, is the function of the Jivatma also. For some times this fragrance is there, after that it is gone, finished, experience is over, it's finished. No? Could you get it? This is the truth. Which is the truth in this? Is the fragrance is the truth, or the air that is there, the base which is carrying and which is making it function? Otherwise this fragrance will not spread, will not retain for some time, will not travel for some distance. Nothing will be done. It will be there only. That's all, settled down, finished. No. But who is the cause of making it all possible? To feel others, to make you feel that there is fragrance. Who is that? The air is the one. Same way. You think you are doing so many things. Who is doing it? Your Atma is doing it. Your prana makes it conscious of doing it. No, not because of any of the capabilities of you. I'm not discouraging you, demoralizing you. You have to understand the truth. Then what happens? Then you will function better. Today you are functioning with a misconception. Today you are functioning with a wrong notion of understanding. The same thing you will do if with an understanding, it has got a difference. Change the karma into liberation. It is not known as a karma. When a war is declared between in one country and the other country, when the killings are going on, this is known as the war. But when Bhagavan Krishna has organized the Mahabharata Yuddha, it was known as the Dharma Yuddha. not yuddha. One is yuddha, another is dharma yuddha. Establish the dharma. The other wars are not done for the establishment of dharma. It is for some other purpose. Either to protect or to attack or whatever it is. It has a purpose. But here the purpose is establishment of dharma. So what happens? Both are yuddha. So when the person who understood the truth of existence, when he does the yuddha, he does it for the purpose of the dharma. Others do it for the purpose of those emotional satisfaction. I want to acquire some land from your area. I want to acquire some money from your area. So this yuddha is personally, totally with an ignorance of I am fighting for the purpose of getting something, or protecting the property of mine or ours. In a country means ours. Both have got the ignorance is involved there, the truth is not there. So it is not known as the truth. Here, the existence of dharma is involved. So the same karma when you execute with the knowledge, like I said about the spraying of fragrance is a good example to understand, I think. So in us, it is like that. We are functioning only to exhaust that fragrance. Our purpose is what? Because we have sprayed the fragrance, we have to exhaust it. Till the time we exhaust it, we will survive. Execute whatever is necessary for exhausting it. Once it is exhausted, then you have got liberated from the spreading of the fragrance. Let me put it that way. You got liberated from that. Now what else to do? There is nothing to do. I sprayed the fragrance and I spread it. After that, for some time, after finishing it, it got diluted with the existence. After that, what is to be done? Nothing has to be done. So what to do? Karma mukti. But what happened when I say that it is I who has done it, the moment the fragrance is being diluted, what I will do? I will again spray. By executing a karma, I am creating another karma phala, is a repetition of spray, repetition of carrying forward of the fragrance by you, is why punarjanma. Cause of the birth is a cause and effect. The effect is due to this cause and the cause is due to the effect. So the existence, so what happens? So this sage Uddhalaga said, Eshvetaketu, that is the self and that is the truth. So understand the truth. If you do not understand the truth, you will be. What is the necessity of understanding the truth? Tell me. Tell me, what is the necessity of understanding the truth? Very simple question, is it not? Satya. Why should I know?
That is the self.
Eh?
Truth is the self.
So the quality of the self, the quality of the Atma or the self is truth.
No. Why should I know the truth? What you said is right. Atma is truth. Why should I know the truth? He is telling Shvetaketu, hey Shvetaketu, this is Satya. So Shvetaketu is asking, why should I know the truth? Suppose he is not asking here. He is asking, why should I know the truth? I am anyway living. Why should I know the truth?
So live with truth. Live in truth.
Why should I live with the truth? Why should I
to
know?
reach the self.
Okay. For what? Why should I know the truth?
If you need to merge with the truth, with
And we
the
are all talking about the effects of that. I just wanted to. We think they are simple. No? That's why Upanishad is not that easy. It's not easy. That's what I want to make you feel. Even though it is a small question, we think it is small, but it's not small. It is big, no doubt. It's an Upanishadic question. This is how the Vedas function. So we have to understand the Vedas in the Vedic language. The depth has to be there. You have to penetrate into it. You cannot just like that. Why should I know the truth? So that I will not understand the false as the truth. Is why I should know the truth. Is it not? If you know the truth, then only you will know which is false and which is truth. When you know which is false and truth, the falsehood living will not be there. The truthful living will be there. That is an after effect. That's why I said. First of all, you should know. The truthful living, when you can claim that this is the truth. Bhagavan Krishna said, I am doing the truthful living. But Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra said that you are a Mayavi, you are a chor. Krishna says, I am a Dharmatma. You understood what I am saying? Because he knows what is the truth. The others do not know what is the truth. So he thought they are living in the falsehood, thinking that they are living in the truth. So the reason to know the truth is to live in the truthfulness, knowing that the other things are falsehood. Unless I know the falsehood, I will not know which is the truth. Otherwise, I will walk in the falsehood. Many of the people, they live in falsehood. No? They do not know. Actually, they are not wrong. They don't understand what they are doing. Somebody also told that. Hey God, please excuse them because they do not know what they are doing. Jesus Christ also has said, no? Originally, they do not know what they are doing. See? Why? Why did he say that? Jesus was crucified, so he prayed, hey Bhagavan, they do not know. They are thinking they are doing right. That's why they crucified him. One group of people have helped him and prayed him and worshipped him as God. Other group killed him. Why? Not because that they, falsehood thinking, they thought this man is going to take over our wealth and the ruling, the country, and he is going to fight like a king and things like that. So they took him as an ordinary person. So what happened? They thought they are living in truthfulness. We are also, I am repeating it, why? Because I want you to be conscious. We are living in falsehood. So we have to start living in the truthfulness, then only the falsehood can be removed. That is why we should know the truth. What is the truth? The truth is the existence, and let the truth happen. As I always said, let the truth happen. Let it happen. Why? Because same like that sap, same like that liquid inside that granule of the seed. It will never change. Whatever you do, it will never change because it is immortal. It is nityam. It's not anityam. It is nitya. So in that nitya, once you realize that, then only you will know whom are you addressing as I. Simple thing has started from there. First of all, you have to start knowing from that point, because that's the point from where it begins. Whenever you address as I, you can address as I. That is why that word is there. Aham Brahmasmi, even one has told that. So it's there, that word is there, Aham Brahmasmi. But Aham Brahmasmi is not that this Sharira is Brahmasmi or Rama, Krishna and Govinda is Brahmasmi. My Antaratma is Brahma. Whom are you saying Aham? That is called the Aham, that which is not changeable, immortal in me. Who makes me do these actions? No. Who is making me do these actions? Who is making me born? Who is making me to live? And while living, who makes me do all these activities, whatever I am doing, and who makes me die is the Aham. It is the Aham who makes me die. Who tells you this is the time you should die? It's the Aham who is telling me that my karmas are over, so I have to find an alternative, or I have to get relieved and released to the existence, to merge with the existence. So, hey Shvetaketu, if the existence is the root of so that which he has already been explained, so Shvetaketu is asking. Shvetaketu has got a question here. If that existence is the root of the world, why is it not perceived? Is his question. Hey, Venerable One, please explain this to me again with the help of an illustration. He says, I cannot understand. I am also telling examples. Shvetaketu also wants examples, no illustration. Unless it is illustrated physically, it's not a true replica of the truth, but an inference can be drawn by saying that this is something like this. Like we say, when you look in the mirror, you are only seeing your reflection, but not the truth. You see, what is that reflection? This cannot be explained. This has to be drawn, an inference has to be drawn. It's a reflection means it is exactly same. There is no difference. That's similar, same. It's a reflection from me. Or when you take a pot and with the water, and when the sun is there and you see the sun's reflection in that, it is not the sun, it is the sun's reflection. However, it is like we are not that what you are external is not the Aham. That what is there internal is the Aham. The one who sees looking at the lake or looking at the pot of water and saying that, look, I have seen the sun, will be living in falsehood. He will expect the heat from the sun. He will expect the prakasha from this sun. He will expect other qualities from the sun which you cannot get. You are only seeing a shape and form. Same way, when you look at the mirror, that mirror, the reflection can do nothing that what you are thinking, you are executing things and all that, nothing can be done. In whichever position you are, it is only reflecting. This is the truth. So where is the truth? Truth is not that. There is only reflection, same way. So he says, if that is the case, why? He says, Shvetaketu is asking, if that existence is the root of the world, why is it not perceived? It's a root. We also say that, no? In Upanishad, in Vedas, in the Jivatma's case, where is the root? Where is the root? You remember that? Urdhva Moolam. You remember this has been explained? Urdhva Moolam. Where is the root? Root is on top. Branches down. Urdhva Moolam. Same, so he has got it out. How is it possible? So the existence, if that is the case, why we are unable to perceive that existence, why it is not perceived? So 12th section is over. Now 6:13:1. So sage Uddalaga is explaining. Hey, as I told you before I continue, every time I remind because it is necessary. We are learning this Upanishad in order to understand the truth of existence, truth of Atma, truth of execution of karmas and exhausting them, and to get liberated from the entanglement of the karma, entanglement of all these activities, what we call. The activities for the purpose of keeping up the sharira and mana. That's called the activity. The active mana, active atma is that the one who merges with the Paramatma. The one who merges with the existence is called the active atma. Otherwise what happens? Otherwise what is the position of the atma? Witnessing atma. Whatever you do, it is not affecting the atma, it's only witnessing. The day it is liberated from these activities is called that active atma. Then only it is active. Till then it is witnessing. It's only a witness because it will not function, as I told you. Whatever you do, it is not changeable. So depending upon your emotions or your karma or your execution of karma, not executing karma or creating karma phala, not creating karma phala, he has nothing to do except witness, project the jnanam. That's all. He projects the jnanam constantly, whether you do sin or whether you don't do sin. Whether you do punya karma or papa karma, he keeps on projecting the jnanam. From that jnanam, you use the way you are supposed to use it. That's all. That's called the witness. It's not that he will stop projecting the jnanam. Why? Because it is not a karma being done by the Atma. It is the swabhava of the Atma to project the jnanam. Is why he is not restricting to bad people and projecting to good people. No. In everyone, the worst come worst murderer or a terrorist also, you expose it. The jnanam that is projected by his Atma is the same as the jnanam projected by Lord Krishna or Bhagavan Shiva. No difference. This is the wonder, you see. And this is the truth. With all that, what happened? But what happens? We know that, we have already explained how this gets distorted in our perceiving level is what is going to be told by, now we will know what is he trying to explain. Sage says here, okay, he wanted a demonstration, an illustration, so he has to do it. So he says, Lavanametadudagai vadhayatha ma pratam pratarupasitata iti sahatata chakaradam hovaja yaddosha lavanamutkevada angatada hareti tidvavamrishada viveda. He says that Lavanam eta dudage vadhaya atha ma pratam. I am just breaking the sentences, breaking the words. Lavanam is salt. He said, hey, Shwetaketu, go and bring some salt. Put it in the water. Leave it to him. He said, fetch the salt which you kept in the water. Now he says, put it in the water. He did it accordingly, and to him he said, oh dear one, now you do one thing. Now, the salt what you have put inside the water, please bring that to me. I want to see that. Let me check. Shwetaketu said, how can I? Oh, I have put it in the water, it's already diluted. I cannot bring the water. Bring the salt. He could not find it. But here he says that he went to search the salt inside the water. He could not find the salt. So he came and told, hey dear one, you do not perceive it. What happened to that salt? He says the remaining dissolved as it does. Now if you want to perceive it, what is to be done? How can you perceive it? I want you to, sage Uddhalaga said, nothing doing. You wanted an example. I want you to experience that salt which you have dissolved in the water, so bring it back. His question is very intelligent. I want you to experience that salt which you dissolved in the water, so you bring it. So, naturally, understand. Shwetaketu said, hey, Bhagavan, how can I bring it? It is already dissolved in the water. How can I bring it? How can I do? Then how to experience it? You wanted to experience that salt. I want you to experience only that salt, because that salt is different from the other salt. Let us say, for the sake of saying. So you have to experience only that salt. So Bhagavan said, see, you cannot bring it, no? You cannot see it, no? You cannot touch it. You cannot smell it. You cannot see it. You cannot experience it. You cannot find it. There it is, no? So you do one thing. Take little water, drop of water from top of that water and taste it. Salt. Okay. Now you take little water from the middle of the water and taste. Fine. We know the answer. Take little water from the bottom of the water and taste. Say, where is the salt? It's all over. How could you perceive it? How could you understand it? Not with the seeing, not with smelling, not by touching, not by doing, with some other organ. In this case, with a different organ, only with one organ, that is the tongue, the taste, that you could experience it, is it not? So he said, the rest of it you throw it out. Now, okay, you found out that from the top, bottom and middle there is salt. Okay, now you do one thing. Take that water and throw it out. You threw it out. Now where is the salt? Salt is there or not? Shwetaketu said, no, it's not there. I threw it out. Salt is there. Salt is there where you have thrown it out. Normally what we say, it's thrown out, it is not there. When you have thrown it out, it is not there. It is there, as I told you about this diluting the liquid, same way. Salt is there. Where you have thrown out, the salt is there. It is not that salt is gone. Only thing what happened? Here, because I told you to perceive it, you perceive it with a different organ. Now, you don't have any organ to perceive it. You see, this is what he wants to tell you. Certain things you can see, certain things you can smell or hear. With the Panchendriyas you can identify. Certain things, even with the Indriyas, even with the mana, even with the knowledge, even with these things, you cannot understand, you cannot see it. Where is that salt? But we all know the salt is there, definitely. If it was there in the water, It is there somewhere where it is thrown out, but neither you can taste it nor you can perceive it. No way there is to perceive it. See how beautifully he has explained in a very simple way how can you perceive the existence. But it is there. So he says, to him the father said, hey, good looking one, Saumya. Hey Saumya, you cannot perceive existence though it is verily present here itself in front of you, and surely it is here. I tell you with confidence, believe me, the existence or the God or whatever you call it, that existence, it is there, right here. Like you could not experience salt water with certain organs, and with any organ or with any of your capacity, with any of your knowledge, you could not, after throwing it out, you could not, same way you are unable to perceive that existence is there. Why? Because you do not have the right instrument to perceive it. So he says in the next shloka, but still Shwetaketu has got out. So though the salt has been perceived earlier by the sight, touch, still it has present there, for it is perceived by means of tasting with the tongue. Now existence, which is the cause of the products, fire, water, food, etc., though it is present like the subtleness within the seed of the banyan tree, the indeclinable words vava and kala are used in order to indicate the recollection of the teacher's instruction. As the salt surely existing in this very water, unperceived by the sight and touch, you perceived by some other means, you can perceive existence, which is the source of the universe and is present here itself. We understood this. So the next he says, that which is the subtle essence, all this has got that as the self. That's the truth. That is the truth. Thou art that, hey Shwetaketu. So he said, Shwetaketu said, I don't understand any of this. May the Venerable Sir explain to me again. So he is explaining. Like the subtleness of the salt, it can be experienced through some other means. That is the meaning of realizing that. By realizing that, I shall become fulfilled, and by not realizing which, I remain unfulfilled. Please explain to me again. He says that as you have experienced the salt, what happened? When you have experienced the salt, you have become fulfilled. Yes, I know, salt is here. But the moment you threw it out, you are not able to experience it, you are unfulfilled. No? So incomplete, you are incomplete. Being in incomplete, whatever actions you are doing, thinking that that is not there, is what I said, living in falsehood but not living in the truth. What do you think? You thought salt is no more there. Now you are living. So if you are living in that, that's called the living in falsehood. Salt is there. Is living in truth. You see. So he says, no, I don't understand you. Please explain me further. Shwetaketu keeps on asking question. Yata. So section 14. Now we go to 6:14:1. Yatha somya purusham gandharebhyo abhinadva chamaniyam tam tato tijane Visrijet satata tatra prangmodangva dharangva pratyangva pradhyayita abhinadvacha anito abhinadvache visrishtaha. He Soumya, yatha Soumya, he Soumya, just yatha, just. As having brought a person with his eyes bound, that Gandharebhyo abhinadvacham aniya. Says that, see, remember, think that he's just telling stories. Think that a person from Gandhara, so, no? Gandharebhyo abhinadvacham aniya, from the Gandhara, from Gandhar, a person has been brought, blindfolded him, tam tado tijane visrajetya tsa. He has been taken into the forest, into the deep forest where he doesn't know where it is. Tata tatra. So when he taken there by the dacoits or whatever it is, he has been taken there, left him inside the forest after blindfolding. There is no way. What is to be done now? None of the Indriyas can function. He cannot see, he cannot find out the direction, and there is no one around. And he doesn't know how, in which are the ways he has been brought, so that he can at least remember that direction and walk. That also he doesn't remember, because he has been brought like that. Now what is to do? Shout for help, is it not? That's all what he can do. I am blindfolded, so shout for help, for somebody to come and help him. Tasya yadha abhinahanam pramuchya prabhuyadedam disham gandharayetam disham vrajedi sa gramat gramam pruchan pandido medhavi gandharevopa asya adyetai Vameva acharya vanyushrusho veda tasya tavateda chiram yavanna vimokshayeta sambatsyeti. Tatha yadhabinaham pramuchya prabhruyadeta. Bruyadeta. Now what happened? He has to ask somebody, so somebody comes here, pramuchya bruyadetam. So he has explained him. Oh, he opened his eye. Somebody shouted, somebody came. He came and he told him, he asked him, he told him that, look, I don't know, where are you from? He said, I am from Prabhu Yadedam Disham Gandharetam. I am coming from Gandhara. I do not know how to go back. Disham Vrajedi Gramat Gramam. You tell me. So he is telling that you would go from this to this grammar, and after that you turn right to go to this grammar, then you turn left, Pricha Pandido, you ask somebody around, Pricha Pandido, somebody who knows about it, Pricha Pandido, then Medhavi, Gandharam. Gradually what happened? He reaches Gandharam. It was a very small story. But I just wanted to explain like this. As it is written, I wanted to explain. It's not very great, okay, as far as we are concerned. Okay. But what happened? He said, Acharya Manupshu. So he says, the country of Gandhara lies this way, walk in that direction. In this way, indeed, a man having an Acharya, who is a guru, who is a teacher, who is a guru, who is an Acharya. Here Acharya is Guru. The one who does the Acharana is Acharya. Acharana of this. So he says the one who has got a Guru acquires knowledge in the world. In this way, indeed, a man having Guru, because eyes was blindfolded, only dependency is on him. He says you go to this direction to this grammar, take a right turn to the next grammar, then ask somebody, then take a left turn, then go there, then you are in Gandhara. So there is no other choice except there is no one else. Except to believe him, there is no other choice, so you believe him. So he says that not unconsciously, but here there is a process. So in this way, indeed he confirms that indeed a man, he projects it, that he wants to tell him, Shwetaketu, a man who is having a guru acquires knowledge in this world. Because all are blindfolded. For him the delay is for that long only. The delay to reach there is only that long, because he was shouting, hey, help, somebody help, somebody help. Somebody has to be there. When somebody came, he helped. So that long, that's what it's called, the delay. Delay is for that long only. Now we'll explain what is the delay. Delay is that long only, as long as he does not become freed. Till the time he was bound in the eyes, he was not free. When he was freed, then only all these activities took place. Otherwise, nothing was there. Then he becomes merged in the existence. Eshvetaketu. So when a person is stolen from the existence, this happens. So he is writing in a small passage. I will just read it out to you, how he explained it. Yes, whatever. Same thing. When a person is stolen from the existence, here he says existence, not from Gandhar. Okay. The real self of the universe by the thieves, such as merit and demerits. He is made to enter into the forest of a body. His body is considered as a forest where you get lost. Constituted of fire, water and the food, full of air, bile, phalgum, blood, fat, flesh, bone, marrow, semen, worms, urine and stool, subject to various types of miseries, arising from the opposites like heat, cold, etc. His eyes are bound with the cloth of delusion, he being tied with many thirsts for various kinds of seen and unseen things like wife, son, friend, animals, kinsmen, etc. Being enmeshed by hundreds and thousands of snares of the misery, he goes on shouting. What is the shouting here? He goes on shouting. I like this paragraph. That's why I just repeated. He goes on shouting, I am his son. There are my friends. I am happy. I am misery. I am deluded. I am wise. I am virtuous. I have friends. I am born. I am dead. I am emancipated. I am a sinner. My son has died. My wealth is lost. Alas, I am done. How shall I live? What will be my lot? What relief is there for me? By some chance, all this we keep on shouting in the forest, blindfolded because we don't know. We come away from the existence. When he comes across a kind person, there has to be a kind person. Otherwise he'll say, you suffer better. I am going away. So he qualified, not any person. No, he has to find a kind person who is a knower of existence, which is Brahman, who is free from the bondage, who is chief among the knowers of Brahman, and through his compassion on, so there has to be a compassion, there has to be Ashirvada, there has to be blessing, there has to be compassion. That's why kind man and compassion, which comes to, so Guru is that compassion on being shown the path of knowing, not that, hey, if you want, you go to the right and then go turn left and ask somebody and go. He did not say that. So he says that, hey, so and so, you please guide it properly. This is the way it is. The GPS has been given to him in his mind. But unfortunately, we do not have this, what is it? Broadband connection in us, so no GPS, all blocked. So he says the chief among the knowers, he says that of the Brahman, and through his compassion on being shown the path of knowing the objects of the world as full of defects, become dispassionate towards all objects of the world. Then he is told, you are not a transmigrating soul possessed of such qualities as being the son of such and such, a person of such and such, etc., etc., etc. So Shwetaketu asks, what is that? He says, in the forest when he came from, he has an identity, came from Gandhar, he came from such and such place, he has got so much of this, that, X, Y, Z, everything. Once he came to the forest, he wanted to save himself. And that was filled with all these agonies, what I have read. It's full of all these agonies around. Now his intention is not anything else. He says, please save me, only to get rid of this agony. Gandhar means the existence, as we told you. It's the existence. From the existence he has come into this. Now he says, show me the path to my house. That's my house. So and where is he? He is in the forest. Forest means where all dangers, each and every moment there is a danger. One side an animal will come and eat you, another side a snake can come and bite you, another side calamity of the weather can be there. So he says that the fear and a lot of other things, which is that, knowing that the objects are full of defects, becoming dispassionate towards all the objects of the world. So he has no attachment towards that forest. You see, given a time, that any moment he is ready to leave from that. See, that should be the condition, because dispassionate. So he became dispassionate towards all the objects of the world. Then he says that you are not the soul progressing and possessed of such qualities as being the son. It's not that you are so and so, you are from the existence, you are from such and such place. You are not attached and attracted to any of these, nor the son of such and such, person of such and such, and father of such and such, and so and so, so and so, so and so, so and so. What he was shouting, I am so and so, I am so and so, I am so and so. So Shwetaketu is asking, then what then? You are that which is the existence, he says. Shwetaketu. So automatically what happens? You are that, when you have come from the existence, you are that existence. Owing to the removal of bondage of ignorance, in this way he becomes freed like the man of Gandhar, and attaining his son, real self, which is existence, he becomes happy and peaceful. This very idea is stated in the sentence. It's a beautiful sentence, he says. Like we said that Shraddhavan labhate jnanam, or Brahmavit, Brahmaiva, Bhavati. Acharyavan Purusha Veda. This is another word. Acharyavan Purusha Veda. He says, no. A man having a guru acquires knowledge, he says. Acharyavan Purusha Veda. Veda is knowledge. Vedam is knowledge. Jnana. Acharyavan Purusha. Acharyavan Purusha Veda, he says. Man having a guru acquires knowledge. Tasya, for him. For this one who has such a guru and become freed from the bondage of ignorance, the delay for that long only in the matter of attaining the true nature of his own self, which is existence. This part of the sentence remain as it is here. How long? How long is the delay now? He said about delay. How long is the delay? It's a normal question everybody asks. Eyes are blindfolded. You are inside the forest. You cannot see anybody. The thieves who have brought you there have left, gone. He said, goodbye, going away. taken whatever you have, left you alone, you know you are alone, and you are shouting for help, nobody is coming. Suddenly, a kind person comes and opens the blindfold. What is that time you are asking? That time till I get somebody to help. What is that time? How long is the delay? He's asking because his anxiety to know that how long one should blindfolded staying there. Yavat, as long as he does not become freed. What is the delay? As Sushwe, the sage, said that as long as he is not freed is the delay. That's all. When will that kind man come? When will he hear your shout? Oh, it's a beautiful, even though it's a small sentence, no? As long as you are not freed, that's all he said. What is that meaning of it? It's a great meaning. I'm shouting because how to come? How is that kind man has come to you? Listening to your shout. Listening to your shout for what? Not just like that. To help. He has to listen. You should shout so loud so that it can reach any distance, and he has to listen. Then he has to understand, okay, somebody is wanting help, and then he has to come to you. Then he has to open your bandage. Till then, you have to be shouting. If you get fed up of shouting, keep quiet. You become the Vyagra Ahara. So he says, the delay is only, he does not become for the force. The meaning is the delay is that long till the body falls after the enjoyment of the here. He is comparing. Till the body falls down, not dying. Till the body falls after the enjoyment of the fruits of action due to which it was born. At that very time, he becomes audible to that person, and the kind man comes, opens your bondage, and you merge with the existence. As before, the word sampatasye will have to be transformed to sampatasyete. Surely there is no difference of time between freedom from the body and identification with the existence. There is no identification between the freedom from the body and the existence, is what he says. Were it be so, the word atha could have been taken in the sense of thereafter. It's not that. It's not thereafter. Thereafter, the body fall means what? Not thereafter the body falls down. Thereafter, no. Atha, he said, like this. Atha. Like what? When you are in the body, what does he mean here by that? I hope you got it, or if not got. So long as you are living in this body, in this jungle, in this body, you have to keep on shouting. In the sense, what happened at one point of time, you get frustrated, is it not? That I don't want anything. Hey, now when you're shouting, what do you want? Hey, help, help. I am in trouble. I don't want anything. I don't want anything. You just free me. That's all. So what happened? During the process of living, you have to get the dispassion to all those enjoyment of the fruits of action due to which it was born has to be exhausted. You have to have a determination towards the release of all those fruits that has been earned by you during the process of living. It's called the renunciation. You should be ready for the renunciation at least. No, what you should say, I don't want anything, save me. I don't want anything, save me. Please help me, I don't want anything. One should not misunderstand, he is calling for some other things. Okay. So there is no difference. So he says that it's not that only after dying you will get. What he means here is that it's not that after the body falls down means after dying, that you will get the identification with the existence, but even with this body, having had an understanding, realization that the fruits of action that I have earned is not mine. I am ready to throw it out, I am throwing it out, I am ready to throw it out, will also reach you to the point of identification with the existence, is what he is telling. This is called identity. If not, he would have told that thereafter you get the realization, or thereafter you get merging with the existence. That he has not told. He said, atha. Therefore, like this, you get the existence. Due to persistence of the residual work of the body does not fall away, and the identification with the existence does not occur as soon as the knowledge of the existence dawns. There are also actions, some of which are performed before the dawn of the knowledge, and some which are remained accumulated in the past lives, which we have not stated yielding their results. So, for the enjoyments of the fruits of these actions, another body has to be created after the death of this body. Moreover, even after he rises of knowledge, one goes on performing for the rest of his life actions that are enjoined or prohibited. Therefore, for the enjoyment of the results of these actions also, another body will have to be created from that result, performance of the fresh actions, as also creation of the new body. Hence, knowledge becomes useless, for actions have their results. Now, if he held that actions of a man of knowledge get exhausted, then since knowledge is the cause of identification with existence and liberation. Now, I just wanted to understand how it is written there. Perceiving is little tough. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Now, here there are two divisions he has made. He asked, how is it possible to merge with that when I just think that, okay, relieve me from this, how can I get mergence with the existence? How is it possible? So he is telling two bifurcations of this. Both who doesn't realize, also after death, we already discussed that, goes to that existence only, then again depending on that back. Same thing he is explaining here. One is that the one who has got the knowledge also gets exhausted. One who doesn't have the knowledge also gets exhausted to the existence. Now, exhausting in the existence even without the knowledge means he, in order to experience the renunciation of the fruits of the karma, which he has promised when he wanted to save himself, I would like to, what he said, he shouted in the body, in the jungle, I don't want anything, I want to get rid. But the moment he opened eyes, what happened? Desires have come. Oh. It's not very easy. So what happened? Fine, no problem. Then the body falls down because he is ignorant. Again, what happened? He says that you have to acquire another body in order to exhaust, experiencing that exhausting, that what you have promised that you will exhaust. To exhaust that you have to acquire another body, and through that body you experience that exhausting through the knowledge, so that you can get merging with the existence. Whereas the one who has got the knowledge, the person having a guru now knows, and there will arise the contingency of the knowledge failing to bring the liberation, or it will be like the knowledge one has the means of reaching the distant place, or the result of the knowledge will be unpredictable. The one who has got a guidance, the one who is not telling that after opening the eyes, you take straight away, go there and take right turn, take left turn and go there, Gandhar. He follows him, he reaches there. The other one says, forget about it, I will find my own way. Now, he dies. That means his death takes place. He goes to the existence, no doubt about it. He is freed from the blindness, ignorance. But he could not, he got lost. Now, in order to experience the losing of the fruits of the action, oh, what happened? I should have taken his assistance. He told me that I will tell you, but I did not listen to him. Now I am stuck. Where to go? I do not know. No, that sort of attitude. So what happens? The one who is without knowledge, he dies and goes to the existence. The one with the knowledge also goes to the existence, but the one with the knowledge, he knows how he has renounced, what is the truth and what is the self. Everything has been realized. So when he goes to the existence, what happened? He is of the same nature of the existence. He is of the same product of the existence, which doesn't have any adulteration in that, nor any functions of that, nor any karma left out or any desires left out on that, in order to come back and execute and again free and go. So the one who has got the knowledge will be of the same quality of the existence. Having the same quality of the existence, it merges with the existence. The one which does not have the same quality of the existence will have to take another sharira, experiences, exhaust it, then again go back. Have knowledge and then go back is why he said, Acharyavan Purusha Veda is it. That's why he said Acharyavan Purusha Veda. So he says, that's why I read that passage to you, so that this is what is. So he says, a new body has to be created for the man of knowledge of the Brahman to enjoy the results of those actions which have not started yielding their results. This is wrong on the authority of the Shruti text for the man of the knowledge. The delay is for as long as he does not become free from all this. So he is just discussing about how there is a discussion on the freedom is. It's a beautiful discussion. Discussion is like one argument by the Charvakas. Charvakas telling freedom is just by taking out the blindfold, one gets a freedom. Is Charvakas. That's called freedom. Freedom from the ignorance. Freedom from the blindness. Then one is with the existence, is what Charvakas are existing. But the Vedas are saying that just by removing the blindness alone, he doesn't become knowledgeable. Just by taking out the blindfold, he becomes ready for perceiving the knowledge. Is the argument of the Veda. Not he has become knowledgeable. Even though he was frustrated when his eyes was bound, as soon as his eyes are opened, there is no guarantee those desires will not come back to him again. He was under distress at that time. He was under duress and distress at that time. At which point of time he falsely promised that I will want only this. But the moment his eyes are opened, natural, let me see my grandson once. After that, stories are there. After that I am ready to die. Let me have this, then I am ready to die. No, he is never ready to die, because then he has to get married, grandchild. Grandchild's that छोटा बाद देखने का है उसका. उसके बाद में I will die. It's a human desire is explained. So what happened? After opening the ignorance alone is not, he understands whatever I am saying is not, but you give me only little time, bas, that is enough. Now what happened in order to do that? He has to experience again in the different body. But the one who was really having, how to know it? After opening the eyes, he has become ready to perceive the knowledge. When the desires have come inside him that I want to see so and so, I want to do this, I want to do this, he is also ready to him. What happens? It becomes only an awareness, and he wants to reach there somehow or other, is called dying. To come back. Whereas the one who is perseverant, one who has got determination, sthita prajna, one who has got determination, he, after opening his eyes, he sees the man, the kind man who has opened his blindfold, So he believed in him 100% because he is the one who has freed him. And he did not disturb him while opening eyes. उसका pocket check करके अच्छा रुपया क्या वो सब पहले निकाल के फिर freed him. No, it's not like that. Accident होने से वही करता है ना लोग, पहले वो सब निकालो उसके बाद में उसको hospital पहुंचाओ. Not like that. No, that's why Swamiji knows about it. So that's why he said, kind man. He said, he's a guru. So Maharishi says, kind man, a guru who comes, he did not disturb him at all, open his eyes. I'm just telling the example so that it goes inside well. Open his eye, blindfold. When he has opened it, naturally the gratitude will be there. He did not take anything from me. Open his eye fold, then he said, you are great. It is you who have saved me. Now he has become absolutely surrendered to him. Now you tell me, what am I supposed to do? He has surrendered everything. He said, remove all your desires, remove all your attachments, do all these things. This is your duty, this you do. These are only duties, but these are not responsibilities. This is called spirituality, this is called the liberation, this is called the penance, this is called meditation, this is called tapasya. You follow me, I will guide you towards that. He says, absolutely okay. Follows him, gains all this knowledge and receives, then only he gets the liberation, is what Veda said. Charvaka said, by opening the eyes, he gets. Is it not like that? It's a discussion only. That's always necessary. Ruling party and opposition has to be there. But here it's not like these oppositions. So Charvakas are clearing that out. And it's all normally, opening the blindfold means released. Charvaka said it's released. Then what is the use of other things? Why should he, struggle again? He has to struggle again because with his struggle, he has only accumulated the fruits of action that he has done. And he is enjoying those fruits of action, by which he is only keeping on doing reborn and reborn and reborn. That's all. So he has to get liberated. For that, he has to go according to that. So the delay is that long, is what he is telling. So, sage Uddhalaga said, hey Shvetaketu, hence that has been said that his delay is for that long is reasonable. So a man established in Brahman attains immortality. We said that for a knower of the Brahman, there can be no action after the rise of knowledge. You should remember that as well. Brahma eva bhavati. After being in the Brahman, there is no karma to be executed. Karma has been exhausted. So, in 6.15.3, Bhagavan says, that which is this subtle essence, all this is got that as the self, and that is the truth, that is the self. So, that you understand. So again Shvetaketu says, please explain me some more. Help me with an illustration, with the help of an illustration, the process by which a person having a teacher becomes united with existence. He said, let it be. So, you explain me by illustration, by having a guru, he gets, what's it? The process, the process by which a person having a guru becomes united with existence. This with an illustration, you tell me. Not only just like that. So, Shvetaketu, the chapter was 6.14.3, what I read, I wrongly said 6.15.3. 6.14.3. Now I am going to section 15.6.15.1. So the illustration of that, how one who has got a guru who goes to the Brahman we will discuss in the next class, because it's also an important section. Going on. We will finish faster. So much has been done. But the meditation portions, before the This one started. Those were absolutely tough, and then it was great, explanations. Excellent. But this Maharshi is taking us very smoothly. No? So anybody can understand this way. That's how he is taking us. He's very, very smooth towards that. Earlier this was very tough. The meditation portions which we have taken earlier, we have completed, of course. We have to do 2-3 meditations on that. I was just finishing some portion of this, then we'll start. But that was really tough and good. But that was intense actually. That one has to go through. That's why there are 204-5 classes have been gone. One has to listen to that. The problem is that we don't repeat. When we think it is done. It's not like that. If you revise, then only you have to go through it. That's why I'm making you do that meditation. I'll do it. But everything cannot be done. You yourself have to do it also. Oh, Shaaanthi. Shambho Mahadev.